Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the Demolition League 2024 as I try to adjust the thing here and get it into place. Hello, Dr. D. Unlike last night, you can actually see what's going on. It's not a radio deal. So that was most likely a one-time experiment. It was interesting. I had some fun doing it, but I'm not sure that's my niche. So might just stay in my lane, as they say. As we get ready for the Chicago Cubs and the Toronto Blue Jays, this will be game number 20 of the season, and it's also these are the last two teams to play their fourth game. So once this game is done, all teams will have 20 games under their belt. And let's see here. And after the 4 games, Miami Marlins are still winless. I'm not sure how they won 62 games. Somehow they did, but they are 0-4. They got blasted by the Dodgers. I was going to put that on video. I'm glad I didn't because that was ugly, to say the least. So we will forget that one. Might show them in the next series of games because they have Luzardo pitching for him, and he actually pitched well in their one game that they came close to winning. So, hello, Cosmo. I'm doing well. Tabby is right here with me. She's kind of keeping me company and maybe delaying me a little bit from where I wanted to start, but just how it is. Oh, first entire baseball game. Cool. It's hard to watch it nowadays because there's so many commercials and there's so many breaks and it just takes so long. And there's so many pitching changes. And just, I know they're trying to speed the game up, but they're still got some work to do, in my opinion. All right, so we're gonna try to get this game going without any circles in the sand. We're gonna see if Belinda Carlisle will stay away. And cool. I'm glad Steve turned you on to baseball in general. I actually, was a much bigger baseball fan back in the day, but I'm trying to learn the new game. That's why I'm playing this set because I want to learn these new players that I'm not that familiar with. So that's my goal. All right, for Toronto, Kevin Gausman is your starter for this one. He's 14-11 and 3.83 in real world. And opposing him for the Cubs is Javier Assad. He was 7-6, 3.73 earned run average in 29 starts. So that is your pitching matchup for tonight's game. Both pitchers had ones on their roster sheet, so that means that actually, I'm sorry, I didn't. This is the pitcher catcher hold. My bad. Pitcher catcher hold on both pitchers are a 0 because you got Gausman a +2, Kirk a -2 for a 0. Amaya's a +1, Assad's a -1. It's also 0. Both pitchers are 6'12". They've got a 1 on their roster. So what I do is I go to the roster, look at the Cubs. Assad, the one on the top here, has got a 1. 1 relates to 6'12". And Gausman has the same thing. So that means if we roll a 6'12", they are susceptible to injury checks. So 6'12" to both. All right, so we will get going. I do have the game up on the Strat-O-Matic computer, so I can input the stats of the game as I play and give you what they've done in the replay so far. Obviously, each team has only played 3 games, but there's only so much they could have done at this point. We are at Rogers Center in Toronto. Ballpark singles are 1-4 for both. Home runs are 1 to 2 for left-handed batters, 1 to 8 for right-handed batters, and this is game number 20. All right, so leading things off will be Michael Talkman. Talkman is 0 for 4 on the replay. Like I said, very limited bat, so it's kind of hard to really give what I would call a legitimate amount of stats because the sample size is just too small. All right, 110, that's a ballpark single right off the bat. 110, you get the upside down triangle, that's a ballpark single. 1 to 4. The D20 is a 12, however, it does not fit in the 1 to 4, so instead, he will pop it up to short. And that's one away. And we're underway from Toronto, north of the border. Batting second will be Dansby Swanson, the shortstop. Swanson is 1 for 11. He's in 091. That's a 3-6 for Swanson. He's going to strike out. He's getting worse. First strikeout for Gausman. And Swanson having a rough time of it. Here's the designated hitter, Ian Happ. Hello, alternate. Good to see you. Ian Happ is hitting 111. He's 1 for 9, but that one hit was a home run. And he does have 2 runs batted in. Switch hitter batting left, 6'4". That's ground ball shortstop backs. We've got our first defensive check. Swanson's a 1E6. Since it's a 1, you know he's going to do it, so we don't need the D20 roll. We just need to check for errors. He's an E6, and that total is a 12. Go to our fielding for shortstops. Look under E6. The only numbers there are 16 and 18. We don't see a 12 there, so it's a good play. And that's going to end the inning. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Gausman. Oh, I'm sorry, I checked the wrong guy. I checked Swanson. It should have been Clement. So let's re-roll it. We are going to need a D20. That's a 14. Clement's a 3 and a 14. So 3 and a 14, he still gets there. 3 and a 14, he gets there. We're going to check for an error again. The original roll was a 12. We're going to keep it. He's an E14. Let's check E14. There's a 4, 15, 17. So still, it's a good play. I just checked the wrong guy by accident. So it worked out in the long run eventually. So that was a good thing. So we've completed half an inning of play here in Toronto, and it's Cubs nothing and Blue Jays coming to bat. And on the mound, I don't know anything about this guy, Javier Assad, right-hander. And I do know this guy used to play for the Yankees, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. I remember that. A name like that is memorable. I just remember names that are elongated like that. So Kiner-Falefa playing third base in this one, and Kiner-Falefa is 0 for 6 on the season. 2-11, and that's a ballpark single. 1 to 4, but that's an 11 out of range, so he's going to line it to short. 1 down. 1 away, and that will send up Justin Turner, the designated hitter. Turner is 1 for 7, a 143 average. No homers and 1 driven in. 5-8. Ground ball second base X. We are looking at Horner. He's a 1 again, so he's going to get to it, but we're checking the E10. And let's see, second base E10. He's got to avoid 4, 16, 17, and 18, which he does. So it's a good play for Nico Horner, and there's 2 down. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. Tabby is right here with me. She's nice and quiet, and I hope to keep her that way. Possibly. All right, here is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I remember watching his father play for the Expos. He is hitting 231 and 13 at bats on the replay. 6'4", and that is a fly ball center field X. We're looking at the center fielder Bellinger, a 2E4. Hello, Jimmy Jan. 2E4. 2 and a. Ooh, that's questionable. 2 and a 4 is questionable. Let's check it out. We are checking Bellinger, 2E4 at center field. 2 and a 4 is an F1. He'll get to it. Center field, he is an E4, and that is an 11. Center field E4, there's a 4 and a 16, but no 11. So good play by Bellinger, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Assad as well. So at the end of 1, we got no score from Toronto. So top of the second we go. And it'll be Saya Suzuki or Saya Suzuki. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I meant to check a broadcast for the Cubs and find out how their announcer said it. I'm thinking it's Saya Suzuki, but it could be Saya as well, so I don't know. Suzuki in the replay is hitting .333, 4 for 12. 2 of those 4 hits are doubles. It's a 4-5, and this one's a ground ball to third. Going to be easily handled by Kina Falefa, and there's one away. One down for Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger, your batter. Bellinger on the replay is 1 for 11, 091. 1-9, and he's going to ground it right back to Gausman. And that's 2 down. Might be Gausman, I'm not sure. It might be like gauze, like you put on a wound. I'm thinking it's pronounced Gausman, not Gausman. I think it's Gausman. All right, here's Nico Horner. He is 0 for 12. I had been batting him up in the number 2 spot, but since he was 0 for 12, I dropped him down, see if that helps his cause any. 6'9", remember 6'12 with the injury check, 6'9", and it helps him out. 6'9", a 1-5 triple, 6-20 a double. That's a 2. It'll be a triple for Nico Horner. His first hit of the new season for him is a triple. It's a 2-out triple. So still going to take a hit from Bush, but we're going to get our first havoc roll tonight. First base runner means first havoc roll. And here's Michael Bush, first baseman. He's hitting .222, 2 out of 9. Both those hits are extra bases. Got a double and a homer. That's a 2-4, and that's a ground ball to second, and that will end the inning. As Biggio makes the play. So the triple goes without any damage. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. Assad back out, and just for you, Chuck. Try to bring this over here very quickly. There's Miss Tabby right there. Oh, got it all mixed up here. Hold on. Come on, get over here. There she is right here. Hey, Tabby. There she is. Sitting on her perch. Just listen to the game. I think she likes the sound of the way the dice are rolling around and hitting the tray and whatnot. I think that's something she likes. I don't know for sure. I'm just guessing. But I'm thinking that's something she likes. So let's see if I can fix this back the way it was here, just about. Close to it anyway. Come on now, I'm going to mess things up by doing that. Okay, we'll get it straight. I'm trying not to make anybody sick. Hold on. I think I had it for a second. I think that's decent. I think we can live with that. At least I hope so. Hope we can. All right, enough of that, Tabby. You're making me mess up my stuff the way I had it set up, so we'll keep going here. So Dalton Varsho will lead things off, center fielder on the replay. Like I said, they've only had 3 games played, so it's kind of hard to make much of the stats, but Varsho is 3 for 10, hitting 300, 2 runs batted in. Against Assad, 2-8, and he's going to strike out. First strikeout for Javier Assad. 1 down for George Springer. He had been hitting leadoff, but he'd been struggling. So in the real world lineup, they were hitting him leadoff. So when I made my lineup for this one, I moved him down to 5th spot, hoping that would stir him up a little bit. He's hitting $167 in 12 at bats. Assad 1-8, and that's another strikeout. So that didn't seem to help him either. 2 up and 2 down. Hello, Mr. Gardner and Dav. Good to see both of you. Hope you're doing well on this Friday night. And it's funny, I went through the whole day thinking the day was the 18th of August, not realizing it was the 20th. I tell you, when you retire, you lose track of not only what day of the week it is, but the calendar date sometimes, and it's really weird. All right, anyway, 1 for 5 for Kirk. He's hitting 200 on the replay. It's a 2-2, and that's a ground ball to second, and that's going to be an easy play for Horner. And just like that, Blue Jays are gone. We go to the top of the third, no score from Rogers Center. Gausman has a fatigue of 6, Assad a fatigue of 5. But since it's the first start of the season for both these guys, I'm capping them at 6. Well, if he keeps his no-hitter, I'll let him go longer than that. But other than that, we're going to cap him at 6. Here's Miguel Amaya, the catcher. And he is 1 for 3 on the replay. That one hit was a home run. 3-5, and he's going to draw a base on balls. First walk issued by Gausman. But as you can see, Amaya has no steal. He never attempted to steal in real world, so he's not going to be held, and we're not going to go anywhere. That'll bring up the third baseman, Nick Madrigal. Sounds like he ought to be in a choir somewhere. He's 1 for 3 on the season. 3-6, and that's a single, 2 stars. And that all of a sudden now the Cubs are coming to life here in the third inning. And it's very interesting now. It's almost I have to get used to actually trying to say what's happening as it's happening in front of me and not trying to read words off a computer screen like I did the other night. So this is going to get you back to being used to this again. All right, so Madrigal is not a threat to run either. So I'll bring a Talkman top of the order. Nobody out there. Going to play the infield back for the double play. Gausman to Talkman to 210, and that's going to be a 1 for a triple. Anything else is a single. That's a single, 2 stars. And the run scores for the Cubs. That'll be Amaya coming across the plate. Madrigal will stop at third base. And just like that, it's 1-0 Cubs. And Gausman's in a little bit of trouble. Talkman to get the lead needs a 6. And he gets a 7, so he does not get the lead. That'll bring up Dansby Swanson, shortstop. Struck out his first chance. 5-5. He's going to strike out again. Second strikeout for Gausman. He's gotten Swanson twice. Now a double play will get him out of the inning. Yeah, Dr. D, I've done it both ways, but I just got more comfortable doing it separately, so I'm not, don't want to get messed up. So, all right, where are we at here? All right, so first and third, Ian Happ, your batter. Infield is still looking for the double play. 3-8, and well, they ain't got to worry about double play. 1-10 is a home run. That's a 14. It'll be a double. The double is assumed to go to center field. Madrigal will score from third, obviously. But Talkman, a 13. He was being held, makes him a 12. There are not 2 outs. There's only 1 out. So 1-12. The double is assumed to go to center. Center field arm -3 of Varsho makes him a 9. So he will hold at third base. He will not risk it. The Cubs lead it now 2-0 on the double from Ian Happ, and that'll bring up Seiya Suzuki. Hello, Robert. I wasn't sure. I didn't realize you weren't streaming tonight. I was waiting. I kept waiting to see if you would come on, and then I figured maybe he's not coming on tonight. Then I checked your video at the end, at the 10-minute ticker from last night, and heard that you weren't coming on. So I said, well, I might as well do something and get another one of these games in, because it's a lot of games to get in. All right, so second and third, infield is now in, and here's Seiya Suzuki. 2-5, and he's going to strike him out. Big strikeout for Gausman. 2 down. Still not out of the woods yet, because Cody Bellinger is your batter. And he is certainly capable of doing some damage. Travel day. There you go. So Bellinger against Gausman. 5-11. That's a ballpark single check. 1-4. That's 17. He will line to second. And Gausman limits the damage to 2 runs. Sometimes that's That's something that you overlook. Well, he gave up 2 runs, but yeah, but it wasn't, it wasn't 5 runs or something like that. So sometimes the little things like minimizing the damage can go a long way. So Javier Assad has the 2-run advantage. And here comes Ernie Clement for Toronto. He has given Bo Bichette the day off because Bo Bichette has been struggling. Well, Clement's not doing too much better either. He's hitting 222, 2 for 9. But one of those 2 hits was a home run. 1-7, and he's going to ground short. He got a loaded column 1, but he hit the ground ball to short. And there is 1 away. That'll bring up Addison Barker, and I know nothing about Addison Barker. Never heard of the guy. But on the replay, this is his first at bat of the replay. He has his first chance to play, so let's see what happens. 1-6, and he's going to fly to center field. That's 2 away for Cavan Biggio. Obviously the son of former Houston Hall of Famer Craig Biggio. Cavan Biggio is 1 for 6. He's hitting $167. 111, and that's going to be a ground ball first base C, and Tim Klee, baseball fan, in honor of him, I'll do it a 3-1 put out instead of a 3 unassisted because of the C, and that's going to do it. So Javier Assad has gone 3 up and 3 down every inning. We go to the 4th, still 2-1 favor of the Cubbies. Where's Harry Carey when you need him? All right, so Nico Horner tripled his first time up, but got stranded. 3-7, and this time he'll ground it to second for Biggio, and there's 1 away. I am scoring the game on the computer as I'm playing it, so that's where the slight delay is between at-bats. Here's Bush. 4-4, lefty. Ground ball third base X, that's kind of Falefa. He's a 2E5. 2-13 is good. Checking the E5 for a third baseman. He's an E5, and that is an 11. Third baseman, E5. There's a 15 and a 17, but no 11. So Kiner Falefa will make the play. 2 up, 2 down. And that will send us to Miguel Amaya. 3-6 for Amaya. 1-7 is a home run. That's a 3. It's going to be gone. Look at it again. The double dive comes up low again. Miguel Amaya, a 3-6. 1-7 is a homer. 8-20 is a flyout. That's a 3. So Miguel Amaya has gone yard to give the Cubs a 3-0 lead. That is the second home run for Amaya. He's gotten 2 hits on the season. They've both been home runs. Three nothing Cubbies, and here's Nick Madrigal. Hello, Blaine. Good to see you. Nick Madrigal singled his first time up, 212. Grounds it to second, and Biggio makes the play. But the home run from Amaya puts the Cubs up 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Here at Rogers Center, north of the border. And Assad will come out and face the top of the order. Kiner Falefa, Turner, and Guerrero. Both teams come to this game with a record of 1 win and 2 losses. That's a 6-8, and that's going to be a 1-4 single. That's a 12, so he's going to line it to short. And that's 1 away. Kiner Falefa retired for Justin Turner, the designated hitter. Longtime Los Angeles Dodger, short-time New York Met. 5'10", right-handed. Catcher X, so we're looking at the catcher, Amaya. He's a 2E6. 2 and a 5. Nobody's on base, so there can't be any pass balls or wild pitches. But a 2 and a 5 for a catcher. That's a pop-out. Now we'll see if there's an error. That's a 9, and he's an E6. E6, there's no 9, so it's going to be a pop-out to Amaya for out number 2. 2 down for Vladdy Jr. Loaded card for Vladdy Jr. He had 30 home runs, 103 runs batted in, and hit 323. In the replay so far, in 14 at bats, he's hitting 214. To 2-9, and he's going to strike out right here. Third strikeout for Assad, and Assad is putting down the Blue Jays rather easily. We go to the fifth. It's still 3-0. Favor the Cubbies. Gausman will be facing the top of the order, Talkman, Swanson, and Happ. 3-7, and that's a fly to center field. And that's going to be hauled in out there by Gary Varsho. One down for Dansby Swanson. Swanson has struck out twice, looking to put bat on ball. 3-4. He does put the bat on the ball, but he flies to right field. So 2 down. 2 down for Ian Happ, the designated hitter. Jimmy Jam, I had the 2023 season on the computer, and so I took all the players and just brought them over and took the players that were traded, moved around from team to team. All I need is the name. I don't need any of their real stats. I just need the name because I'm putting everything in manually. So I've got all the rosters set there. So it actually was pretty easy to do. I can't sim anything because the stats in the computer are 2023. They're not 2024. So, and I can only use the players that are carded. Now next year, if I do 2025 like I planned, then I can start printing off the extra players that are on the computer only and so forth. But, hello, Doug. Good to see you. Here's Ian Happ, rounded short and double. 4-8 left hand switcher to batting left is a 1-8 single. That's an 11 though, so he's going to line to second, and that's going to end the inning. So that's how I'm doing it, Jimmy. I moved him over, and if his rookie year was 2024, Strat has a thing you can create a player, and I did put in their real stats, and it in some formula makes a card for him, but I don't pay attention to that because I'm not using that card. I'm using the cards that are here. But I did, in some instances, I did have to create players if they were brand new, if they were call-ups for the first time in 2024. I did have to do that, which was no problem. But all I did was move the players around. I looked at where they were last year. If they were on a different team, found them and moved them over. 76 or 62, what about it? I've got those seasons, but I'm not doing any project with it at the moment. I don't have those on the computer either. I may eventually get 76 on the computer. I haven't decided yet. If I do, I'll probably wait till Strat-O-Matic. Sometimes Strat-O-Matic has a sale on computer seasons. Like you buy 2, you get a third one free or something like that. I'll wait and see how that goes. All right, so Dalton Varsho will lead off. He struck out his first chance against Javier Assad. This is his fatigue inning, but doesn't look like he's too tired right now. 4-8, but he might be tired now. 1-3 is a double, 4-20 is a single. That's a base hit, and there goes the no-hitter. And that's one knock against his point of weakness. Dalton Varsho is on. He needs a 6 to get the lead. Gets a 10, does not get the lead. So we'll go to George Springer. That's a 6-9, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. Possible double play. Swanson's a 1E6. 1 and a 13 would be that double play without an error. A 1 and a 13 is a G1. That's a total of 6, and he is an E6. 6, there is no 6 there, so that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. And as fast as the Blue Jays put a runner on base, he is erased on the twin killing. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, it's catcher Alejandro Kirk. 6-4. That's a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Bellinger, a 2E4. 2 and an 18, he'll get to that. E4, and that is a 12. E4. There's a 16 and a 4, but no 12, so good play for Bellinger. And that'll do it. So Assad will be able to go to the 6th inning without any problems. And it's a 3-0 ball game as we head to that 6th inning. And this is the fatigue inning for Gausman. This will be his last inning regardless. Suzuki will lead things off. He is 0 for 2. 5-7, and that's a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he has not. He just started his fatigue and he hasn't given up anything. So the fatigue doesn't come in yet. That's the 4th strikeout for Gausman. And that'll bring up Cody Bellinger, center fielder. He's also 0 for 2. 4-9, and that's trouble. 1-6 is a double. 7-20 is a single. That's a 5. So 1-out double for Cody Bellinger. And that's the first ding against Gausman's point of weakness. That'll bring up Nico Horner. He tripled and grounded to second. 6-7. That's a ground ball, second base X. They were not holding Bellinger on, so the second baseman, in this case, Biggio, will keep his 3E14 number. 3 and a 13 as a second baseman. 3 and a 13 is a G2. He's a E14, and that is a 10. Aren't using many 10s for errors, so that's going to be a good play. The runner, since it went to the right side, the runner will move up to third base. 2 outs. Runner now at third. Clutch situation, as they say, for Michael Busch. Nothing on the Havoc. 6-8. Busch is a lefty. Fly ball to left, and that's going to end the inning. That will do it for Gausman. He will go 6 innings. And we'll get the final numbers on him via the Strat computer. Let's get his numbers so I don't have to do any math. All right, so Gausman, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. But unfortunately for him, he is on the hook for the loss unless the Blue Jays can tie the game at some point or take the lead. Javier Assad will start out the bottom of the 6th. So far, he has been in complete control. Ernie Clement, the batter. 5-8, and that's a ground ball, second base X. We're looking at Horner. He's a 1E10. Since he's a 1, nobody's on base. We don't need the D20. You know he's going to get to it. Checking the E10, and that's a 12. Second baseman, E10. There is no 12. It's 4, 16, 17, and 18. So a good play for Nico Horner. And Clement is out of there. Here's Addison Barger. It's a 5-7, left-handed. That's a base on balls. So 1 out, 1 on. And the number 9 hitter, Cavan Biggio. Barger, no threat to run. Will not be held. Always roll the Havoc regardless, though. Looking for wild pitches or balks or whatever. 3-6 for Biggio. Struck him out. That is only the 4th strikeout for Assad. So not a lot of strikeouts or walks in this game, which is much better than that 14-walk fiasco I had with the Yankees in Pittsburgh. So 2 outs, and Kiner Falefa, the leadoff man, steps up. He is lined to short twice. 2-4. And not this time. 1-6 is a home run, but that's a 16. It'll be a double. Question is, can the runner score? The double is assumed to go to center. Center fielder Bellinger is a -2. Barger was not being held, so he's a 13. With 2 outs, becomes a 14. The -2, though, drops him to a 12. Would be a 60% chance of scoring. But that 60% chance of scoring is higher than Turner. He does not have a 60% chance of getting a base hit, so you pretty much have to send him here. 1-12, he's going to make it. And he does, so he will score. Cuts the lead to 3-1, And on the throw, Kiner Falefa will take third. And since my rule is the runner has to be 13 or higher, and he's a 14, so he does take third on the throw. So RBI double off the bat of Kiner Falefa. And all of a sudden, it's 3-1. The tying run is coming to the plate, and that belongs to Justin Turner. Kiner Falefa at third. 5-6, and that's a strikeout, but he's not tired yet. He would need one more base runner to be tired. He is not tired, so the strikeout is good, and that will do it for Assad. He gives up the 1 run, and we'll go to the Strat computer and get his numbers, and also bring in a new pitcher for Toronto, as Gausman is complete and finished. So Assad goes 6 innings, gives up 2 hits and a run, which was earned. He walked 1, struck out 5. All right, so Assad is in line to get the win, as long as his team maintains the lead. Hello, Ernest. Good to see you. Blue Jays will go to their bullpen, so we'll see who they've got that either A, needs work, or B, is overworked and can't be used. So let's see what the computer is telling me on who's been used and who hasn't. Trevor Richards, he was awful on opening day, but he hasn't pitched since, so he's got some definite energy, so they're going to bring out Trevor Richards. Give him a reprieve and let him prove himself. Trevor Richards, his hole's a 0, so -2. So it'll be Richards facing Amaya, Madrigal, and Talkman. Richards, in his 1 game that he pitched, it did not go well for him. He's 0-1 with an ERA of 54. He walked 3, pitched less than 1 inning, gave up a hit and walked 3. So the walks were his problem. In real world, he walked 35 in 65 innings, struck out 62, but he was hitting those walks rolls like crazy. And he does get traded to Minnesota later, but right now he's with Toronto. So he's going to face Amaya, and that's a 6-9. Let me make sure it's not an injury for Richards. I don't think it is, but we'll double check it. Let's see. Must be in the extra pitchers. Richards, extra pitchers. Right here. He's a 1, so he's a 6-12 also. So 6-9 is not a problem. 6-9. 1's a double. Anything else, he flies to center, so that will be a fly out. Hauled in out there by Varsho. 1 away. That'll bring up Nick Madrigal. 2-8, and that's a ground ball back to Richards. 2 down. And just like that, Richards' ERA has dropped from 54 down to 18, as he's now pitched a full inning in this replay, giving up 2 runs. Here's Michael Talkman. 5-8, and that's a strikeout. So a much better outing this time for Trevor Richards. They might even consider letting him pitch another inning because he didn't give up anything. So they will let him try to go 2 innings in this one. And now we're at the 7th inning stretch, and the Cubs need a new pitcher. So we'll go through the same process and see who is rested and who's not. It's going to be Guerrero, Varsho, and Springer due up. And we'll check the computer to tell me who is tired and who's not for the Cubs out of their bullpen. Let's see here. Miller's only had 1 outing, so he's going to come in for his 2nd game of the year. Tyson Miller. Miller was 5-1 at 2.15 ERA and 1 save in the 2024 season. So Tyson Miller. So I guess the Cubs say it's Miller time. So -2 and a +1 for a -1. So it will be Miller taking over for Assad. And stepping up is Vladimir Guerrero. 6'9", and let me check Miller. I don't think he's injured on that. I think he's probably a 6'12" also, but I'll double check it. Miller is a 6'12", yes. Okay, so 6'9", but it's a base on balls. Not what they want when you're ahead, particularly. Start walking, guys. Vladdy's no threat to run, though, so he will stand pat. And here's Dalton Varsho. 1-7 for Varsho. 1-5 is a single. That's a 17. He lines a second for out number 1. 1 away, and that's going to bring up George Springer, former Houston Astro, back in their World Series days. That's a 2, chance for a balk or pass ball. We're checking the balk rating of Miller. He's a 0 balk rating. 3-2, and that's going to be a fly ball to right field. Quickly 2 away. Tabby, you're going to wait till the inning's over before you go out the door. I'm not going to get up right this second. So you sit there and wait. Here's Alejandro Kirk. 1-5, and he grounds to short, and that's going to end the inning. So Tyson Miller does his job, pitches his 1 inning, and gives up nothing but a walk. And we go to the 8th inning. Oh, Tabby doesn't want to leave. She just wants to sit on my laptop computer case. She likes to do that sometimes. All right, so Dansby Swanson. Let's see, starting to run out of room here. Let me move this thing over just a touch. Dansby Swanson will lead things off against Richards. Top of the 8th, 4-6, and that's a walk. That's what got him in trouble last time with the base on balls. So Toronto does have the bullpen loosening. They're not going to wait around till disaster strikes. They got Bellinger waiting in the wings, so Tim Meza, who would later get traded to the Yankees, he's going to be loosening in the bullpen for Toronto. Tim Meza. So that will send up Ian Happ. Swanson, though, is a threat to run. Get the lead, needs a 4 or a 5. 9 does not get the lead. Here's Ian Happ. 2-10 for Happ, and that is a ballpark single check. It's 1-4. That's a 5. Foul out to first. 1 away. 1 down, and that's going to take us to Seiya Suzuki. Bellinger is on deck, so I think Meza will be ready for him. 4-6, and that's another walk, and that's going to be it for Richards. He is going to be done. And with the left-hander Bellinger coming up, they will go to the left-hander Tim Meza. So we'll bring Meza into the game. Can't close the book on Richards because the runners on base are his responsibility. But Mr. Meza will come on, left-hander, try to get this third out. Meza has pitched 1 inning and given up nothing, ERA of 0. Hey, Prague, how you doing? 2 on and 1 out. Meza to Bellinger. That's a 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's a chance of a pass ball. Kirk, let's look at his pass ball rating. Didn't write it down. Kirk's pass ball rating is a 4. So 1-4, we will have a pass ball. We do not. Kirk blocks it, so we drive on. Here's Bellinger. 1-5, lefty on lefty is a fly ball to right field, 2 down. For Nico Horner. Horner tripled his first time up, has grounded out twice since. That's a 5-6, and that's a strikeout. So Meza comes in and does the job. He will actually come back and start the next inning because they have a lefty coming up. So nothing there, and that, let's see, we can close the book on Richards now. He goes an inning and a third, and he struck out 1, walked 2. Gave up no hits or runs. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Cubs will need a new pitcher. It's going to be Clement, Barger, and Biggio, the scheduled hitters. Of course, we're in the 8th inning, so pinch hitters are certainly welcome. And with let's see what who the Cubs bring in. It's righty, lefty for the Blue Jays. So it looks like they might try to bring a left-hander in. We'll see. They could bring in Drew Smiley, maybe. Let's see. They got 2 lefties, Luke Little and Drew Smiley, but the computer was telling me Luke Little was overworked. So Smiley is not. Smiley's only pitched 1 inning. So Drew Smiley will be coming on for Miller. And we'll get the numbers on Smiley. Not many numbers to worry about. Just the 1 inning pitched. Gave up no hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. ERA of 0. Smiley on the season was 4-8 with a 3.84 ERA, no saves. So left-hander Drew Smiley, he's been around for quite some time. All right, so it'll be Clement. And scheduled here, Barger and Biggio. Let's see if they got any righties on the bench they might want to go to. They got Bo Bichette, obviously, and they have Dave Schneider. So they're going to pinch hit for both of those guys. So Barger and Biggio are going to be pinch hit for by Bichette and Schneider. So we're going to have Clement, Bichette, and Schneider due up. So 1 is Bichette, pinch hitting in the 8th. And 2 is, what did I say to the Schneider. We'll also pinch hit in the 8th, and then we'll worry about defense in the 9th. Right now it's Ernie Clement. He steps in against Drew Smiley. Smiley's hold is a 0. Maya's a +1 for a 1. Okay, so 3-1 ball game, Chicago, bottom of the 8th. And Ernie Clement, the batter. 4-8 against a right-hander is a 1-4 single. That is a 4. So Ernie Clement, leadoff single. The tying run comes to the plate, and it'll be pinch hitter Bo Bichette. We'll bring him on in the computer. Bo Bichette was getting the game off, but now there's a situation where they need his services. So Bo Bichette is on. He's 3 for 12 on the replay, hitting .250, no homers or runs driven in. Havoc roll and nothing happening. Clement could think about running here, but they're going to hold him on. He's being held, but he won't try to go anywhere. 4-3, right-handed. That's a ballpark blast for a right-hander. It's 1-8, and that's a 5. That's a Bo Bichette pinch hit home run. And yes, folks, it was brilliant managing to brought Bo Bichette in, a right-hander instead of that left-hander. And Bo Bichette hits his first home run of the season. You don't see managing like that on that other channel. You just don't. 2-run home run from Bichette, and we are tied at 3. So Assad, with all the great outing, comes up empty. He gets a no decision. But it does get Gausman off the hook. And here is Davis Schneider. We're going to bring him in on the computer. Davis Schneider, another right-handed hitter. And there's nothing the Cubs can do about it, because once you bring Smiley in, he's got to face 3 batters. That's the rule. No, Tim, not that other channel. I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. 2-7, left-handed, is a pop out to short. 1 away. But the Blue Jays will have to do some finagling on defense. Probably put Bichette at short and move Clement to the outfield, most likely. Here's kind of Falefa. 312, left-handed. That's a low max, but nobody's on base, so just a line out to third. 2 down for Justin Turner. Three 6 for Turner. That's a 1-9 double, 10-20 single. That's a single. 2-out single. Cubs could think about replacing Smiley, but we'll see. I think they will. With Vladdy coming up a tough right-handed hitter, they're going to pull Smiley. So Smiley is going to go 2/3 of an inning. He's going to give up 3 hits. So far, 2 runs, but Turner is his responsibility. No walks, no strikeouts. So a right-hander is going to come in for the Cubs. And it will be Adbert Alzolay. He will be coming on to face Guerrero. So let's bring Alzolay in. He is only had 1 inning pitched. He gave up 1 hit and a run, ERA of 9. He gave up a home run. That was the hit he gave up. So Alzolay is on to try to make sure that the Blue Jays don't get anything else. Facing Vladimir Guerrero with Turner at first. 2 down, bottom of the 8th. Now a 3-3 ball game. 4-2. That's going to be a base on balls. We'll keep the inning going. And that'll send up Varsho, a lefty, but you got to leave Alzolay in there because you got to face 3 batters. Them's the rules. 3-6, and that's a Dalton Varsho. 3-6, home run 1-12. That's an 18. It'll be a triple for Dalton Varsho. There was a guy that used to play in the 80s named Gary Varsho. I don't know if they're related. That's a 13-20. That's an 18 on a 3-6, a triple. And Alzolay is not holding the Blue Jays down. It's going to be 2 runs coming in. 1 charge to Smiley, 1 charge to Alzolay. So we can give Smiley 3 runs allowed. He's on the hook for the loss. And the Blue Jays, with an Abraham Lincoln 4-score inning, take the lead in a big way, 5-3. Gary is Dalton's dad. Okay, thank you. I thought they were. With a name like Varsho, you figured it had to be. Here's Springer. 2-6 for Springer, and that's trouble for Alzolay as well. 1-10 is a home run. That's a 6. George Springer finally breaks through with a home run. And the Blue Jays just blown this thing open. It's not even a save situation anymore. Alzolay not doing so well for himself, but he's gonna bite the bullet. They're not gonna pull him. They're gonna make him get the last out. He hasn't gotten anybody out yet. He's given up. He's faced 3 batters, a walk, a triple, and a home run. Now the 9th man to bat in the inning, Alejandro Kirk. And now the Blue Jays have a 6-pack and have a 7-3 lead. 2-6, and that's going to be a walk. The Blue Jays will bat around as Clement, who led off the inning, will step to the plate. He led off with a single to start the inning to begin with. So Clement is in. Alzolay not able to get anybody out. To Alzolay's defense, all these results are coming off the batter card. I don't think I think I've had one thing come off his card. The last couple have come off the batter card. So to be fair, he is, experiencing that. 3-4 is a line out to second, and that will end the inning. But a 6-pack for the Blue Jays, and that's going to be it for Alzolay. He goes a third of an inning. He's going to give up 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 runs. No strikeouts. And we go to the top of the 9th, but we got to make some defensive changes for the Blue Jays because of the pinch hitting. Plus, they need a new pitcher to pitch the ninth. So let's see how they're going to play this. Clement can play second, so they're going to move Clement from short to second. Bo Bichette will stay in the game to play shortstop, and that leaves left field open. And Schneider is a left fielder, so he'll put him in left field. So Schneider is going to bat ninth playing left field. Clement moves from short to second, and Bichette is the shortstop here. All right, so now they need a pitcher. And again, it's a non-save situation. Actually, they're going to stick with Meza, I think. Meza, I should say. They're going to stick with Meza. They're going to let Meza pitch. Why not? You only face 2 batters. They might as well leave him in there. So Meza it is. They will keep Meza in there. Facing Michael Bush. Lefty on lefty. 2-9. Struck him out. Meza gets the K. 1 down for Amaya. Hello, Frank. You got Meza and Amaya. That's a 5-8 right-handed, and that is a strikeout for Meza again. He faced 4 batters so far. He struck out 3 of them. I can see why the Yankees traded for him. Last chance for the Cubbies to prevent falling to 1-3 is Nick Madrigal. He's 1 for 3. 2-5, and that's a hit by pitch, so he plunks Madrigal. He plunked Madrigal. And that will bring up Michael Tauchman. Lefty on lefty, or do they pinch hit for Tauchman? Let's see. Kind of numbers. He's decent here. They'll let him hit. He faced lefties 21% of the time, so it's not like he's totally inept. That's a 2-9, and there you go. 1-8's a double, 9-20 is a single. That's a 5. It's a double, but it's 2 stars. So the run cannot score. But now we have second and third with 2 outs. Let's see, 8-4, 8-5. Still not a save situation. Another runner would have to get on base to be a save situation. So they're going to stick with Meza. Here's Dansby Swanson. That's a 6-4 for Meza against a right-hander. That's a ballpark single check. It's a 1-4. That's a 2. It's going to be a base hit. Wow, the double die comes up again. Base hit. And now Meza will have to leave the game. Switch hitter Ian Happ coming up, but it's now a save situation, and Meza's going to have to leave. He's mostly a lefty specialist. But he will leave after giving up the ballpark single check. It is now 7-4, rather. I don't know where I got 8 from. It's 7-4. And we will go to the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Forgot who their closer is. Nate Pearson had 2 saves. I think it was Chad Green. Chad Green had 17. To make sure Chad Green's not tired. Yes, he is. So I can't use Chad Green. So we'll go with Yimi Garcia is showing not tired. He had 5 saves, so we'll go with Yimi Garcia. Yimi Garcia will get the call. It is now definitely a save situation. The tying run is at the plate. So Yimi Garcia making his way in. And he will be facing Ian Happ, the switch hitter. Runners at first and third. 2 outs. Swanson could try to get a lead, but if you get thrown out, well, I don't know, though. You almost have to do it. 4 or 5 gets him the lead. He's a +5 hold. That's a 2. He does not get the lead, so it's a moot point. And Ian Happ will step in. against Garcia. 2-6 for Ian Happ. He's going to ground to short, and there's your ball game. Cubs get a run in the ninth, but not enough, and they fall 7-4 to the Blue Jays. Save for Garcia, his first, as he won a third of an inning. We'll get the numbers on Mesa as I go to the computer, and we get this thing wrapped up. Mesa, an inning, he actually gets credit for the win, does Mesa. He goes an inning in the third. He's 1-0. Inning in the third, 2 hits and a run, no walks and 3 strikeouts. The losing pitcher is, of course, Smiley. He's 0-1. For the Blue Jays, 7 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. For the Cubs, 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Cubs left on 8. Blue Jays only left on 3. So fair amount of left on bases by the Cubs that came back to bite them. So there you go. Game 20 is in the books right now. Every team has played 4 games now. And as we go to the standings, which don't mean a whole lot after just 4 games, but the Yankees, the Dodgers, the A's, and the Twins are all 3-1. San Diego, Pittsburgh are 2-2. Kansas City and Chicago are 1-3, and the lowly Marlins are 0-4. 0-4 for the lowly Miami Marlins. And after 4 games, the Marlins have a -18 run differential. They've been outscored 25-7 in 4 games. Tough Miami Marlins, but the next game on the next broadcast on the Demolition League will be the Dodgers and the Marlins from Miami. See if Marlins can get that first win. They'll be going to their opening day starter, Jesus Luzardo. The Dodgers will go to their opening day starter, Tyler Glasnow. There'll be second starts for both of those guys. So the reins are off. They're not limited to 6 innings. They will go as far as they can go and as effective as they can be. But that's going to do it from here. The Blue Jays win it by the score of 7-4, using a 6-run 8th inning to come back from a 3-1 deficit and pull this one out. Game 20 is in the books. Yeah, I imagine RJL told me he knows that the Marlins are terrible, so I don't think it's coming in any surprise. The fact that the Marlins are doing well, he'd probably question the game engine, saying what's going on. So I think it's just a matter of they're bad and we know it. So, but the reason I picked them was because when I got the set, they had so many players. So I've got so many minor leaguers to choose from, and the roster can be fluctuating over and over and over. And so that's the reason why I did that. So thank you, Stick Tap and Doug, Frank, Ernest, and Prague, Colin, Chuck, Tim Clee baseball fan, Blaine, Jimmy Jam, RJL, of course, Dr. D, Dav, Cosmo, Mr. Gardner, Alternate Time Sports Replay. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else. I think I got everybody. Thank you all for spending part of your Friday night with me. Remember, tomorrow, roughly around noon, might be 12:15, somewhere in that neighborhood, the NBC Game of the Week on Season Ticket Baseball. It'll be the New York Mets and the Los Angeles Dodgers, 1978, from Shea Stadium. And it'll be the Dodgers against the Mets. NBC Game of the Week on Season Ticket Baseball. So, until next time, well, Tabby's just crashed over there now. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.